right, example number 1 here in lesson 6-6. Juanita and Keenan own a camping supply store and put in an order for flashlights and sleeping bags. The number of flashlights ordered was 5 times the number of sleeping bags. The flashlights cost $12 each and the sleeping bags cost $45 each. If the total cost for the flashlights and sleeping bags was $1,785, how many flashlights and how many sleeping bags did Juanita and Keenan order? So just like usual from 7th grade, when you're writing your let statements, it comes from what the question's asking you, what you don't know. So this question is asking me, how many flashlights, how many sleeping bags did they order? So 2 things, 2 variables. Let's write some let statements. So I'm going to let X equal the number of flashlights. And it's important that you're at least specific enough to tell the difference. Because if I just put flashlights, is that the cost of the flashlight? Is that the number of flashlights? I don't know, but you need to let me know. And Y is the number of sleeping bags. Okay. So now we're going to use that information to put together some equations. Okay. So the first sentence I'm seeing is the number of flashlights ordered was 5 times the number of sleeping bags. So the number of flashlights, that's my X. So X was 5 times. Was is like my equal sign here. 5 times the number of sleeping bags. The number of sleeping bags is Y. 5 times means multiplication. So X is equal to 5 times Y, which is just 5Y. And there we have our first equation already created from just reading the problem and just reading what they're giving me. So now the next information all has to deal with money, and that makes sense because we're going to use all 3 of those in an equation together. Because when we add money and money, it has to equal money. So the flashlights cost $12 each. So the 12 has to go with the X. And the sleeping bags, the $45 each, has to go with the Y. So 12X plus 45Y is equal to, remember, looking for that total cost, $17.85. So you did the hard part. The hard part is right there, creating those equations and getting the equations. The easier part will be the solving of them. And when you're doing that solving, you can solve using any method you would like. I don't care. In this one, this is already set up nicely for substitution since I already have a variable isolated. So I'm going to substitute that X into my equation below so I can solve. So 12 in for X, I'm putting 5Y, making sure I'm using parentheses to not lose any operations going on. 12 times 5y is 60y plus 45y is equal to 1785. 45 plus 60 is 105y, and that's equal to 1785. The last solving step to isolate that y is to divide 1785 by, what was it? 105. And that gives me 17. So y equals 17. Okay, so now we need to use that value for 17, that value for y, and find out our x value, which I'm going to use that top equation because it's pretty simple. So in for y, I'm putting in 17. So x is equal to whatever 5 times 17 is, which is 85. Okay, so again, we're not done though because we have not written any answer sentences. We have not explained what our coordinate point of 85, 17 means. That means that They ordered 17 was Y. Y was the number of sleeping bags. 17 sleeping bags and 85 flashlights. Be careful when you're writing these sentences. I've seen children go and do all of the work perfectly, but put the labels on the wrong spots, and that unfortunately does lose you credit. So, boom sauce.